I'm not sure how many review videos you're going to end up with for the midterm. It's going to be a couple. It's going to be broken up into pieces because how could you cover really 8 chapters of information in one class, right? So that's why it's Tuesday today, and we're literally taking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday, 5 days to really just start to summarize and wrap up what we've learned this semester in our class. All right, so I think I made it into somewhere around chapter 4 in the last class. We'll just kind of see how far we get in your class. I'm going to be working on kind of like a notebook paper style because I'm working off of your review sheets today. All right, so like I said, we're doing a lot of those problems together. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. Negative 50 plus 30 times negative 2. Now remember, this is multiple choice, okay? So I'm going to put the answer on there. That's probably the common mistake. The correct answer will be on there. There's answers that would be similar, okay? Mm-hmm. Yep. It's not Scantron. It's multiple choice. So you just circle the, okay. All right, so negative 50 plus 30 times negative 2. All right, make sure you have that answered. Everybody working on your review sheet? Okay, so I want you answering these questions ahead of me, and I'm going to kind of work them behind you and make sure that you understand the process of how we got to our answer. So again, I tried to choose the more difficult problems to really work out, okay, from the sections. What do I do first? What do I do first on this, guys? We shouldn't have calculators out right now either, because this is no calculator on this part. Isla, what do I do first? I've got to multiply before I add and subtract. So negative 50 minus 60. How did I get minus 60? 30 times negative 2. 30 times negative 2. You must multiply before you add and subtract. Order of operations. So guess what? The common other answer that I'm going to put on this test would be negative 20 times negative 2. So if you think it's positive 40, that would be an option on the test. But that's not correct because you added before you multiplied. Okay? All right, so negative 50 minus 60 is what? Negative 110. Same sign, add and keep. Different sign, subtract. Take the sign of a larger number, then you'll be exact. Same sign, add and keep. Okay, negative 110. All right, let's do number 2. 40 minus the absolute value of negative 70. So absolute value is something I haven't seen in a while. All right, raise your hand if you say this is not a double negative. Raise your hand if you think this is not a double negative. You are right. It's not. Double negatives are with parentheses. Absolute value, this is saying subtract the absolute value of negative 70. Does anybody remember what absolute value means, Maddie? There's not a negative because it's, Colin?
It's a number distance on a number line from 0.
It's how far it is from 0. Not negative, not positive. It's just 40 minus 70. Okay, so that minus sign in front, yeah, it did stay. So 40 minus 70 is negative 30. I give you one guess what other choice would be on your test if this was your test question. 110. But that's not right because it's not a double negative, huh? What?
I'm sorry, I'm just saying what some people would put, and I put 30, which was neither.
Okay, yeah. So if you thought that this was a double negative, you would make this a positive, and 40 plus 70 is 110. That's what we were saying. A common wrong answer, okay? So those common mistakes, all right, don't think, well, just because this is multiple choice, the answer will be obvious. Like, I would put an answer choice that would just be like 320 and just ridiculous, okay? So even though it's multiple choice, you have to know how to solve it. Now, you might be able to kind of eliminate down, and that's okay. you're like, oh, okay, I know it's not that answer, so I'm going to focus on these two answers. Obviously, that's a good test-taking strategy. All right, we're going to keep working our way down, and we're going to do number 5. Negative 1 3/8 plus 3/4. Negative 1 3/8 plus 3/4. Okay, what is negative 1 3/8 as an improper fraction? Negative 11 over 8 plus 3 over 4. Can I add these together now? No. Can I add them? Tell me. No. Why?
Because they're both different.
I don't have an LCD. What's my LCD? 8. So what do I multiply that second fraction by? 2. Negative 11 over 8 plus 6 over 8. Does everybody understand how I got 6 over 8? Now, I add my numerators. Negative 11 plus 6 is? Negative 5. And then I bring over my denominator. When I add, I do not add my denominator. So guess what? I would probably put like negative 5 over 16 as an option. Right? So that way, like, you've got to remember, oh, wait, do I add those denominators or not? All right? So that would be a possible another answer option, but one that I would not choose. All right? Let's look at the next problem, number 6. Negative 2 4/9 times negative 7/9. Negative 2 4/9 times negative 7/9. What do you do with that mixed number? What do you do with the mixed number, guys? Make it improper. We want to make it improper. So now it's going to be negative 22 over 9 times negative 7 over 9. If only 7 over 9 had been flipped, right? Because can I cross-reduce anything? No, I can't. I can't cross-reduce anything, so I have to multiply, and I do have to do this by hand. This is not my calculator section. All right, so we're going to kind of sharpen those skills. I want you to go ahead and multiply by hand, okay? And then we also need to make sure that it can't be reduced. All right, so we get 154. Wait, where did my negative go? It's 2 negatives. Okay, right? It's 2 negatives. Now, I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, well, I know for sure, like, what numbers don't, but am I missing something? And to be honest, guys, these really large numbers, they get kind of challenging, right, to make sure it's reduced. Here's what I would do. I would make it back into a mixed number. How many times is 81 going? Times? 1. With 73 left over. 73 is a prime number. Now my answer is obvious. This is definitely reduced. Now, if you leave it improper, okay, I'm not going to put, no, maybe a multiple choice would be the improper version and the mixed number version, and then one option could say both A and B. You got a couple of those. I don't remember if it's this one. The mixed number is still correct unless it's not reduced. That's why I went back to the improper fraction. It's still correct. But I went to the mixed number to make sure that it couldn't be reduced anymore. Okay, so it's just a little easier to see that without a calculator. Yeah, okay, so now let's do number 9. Yeah. Oh, I know, right? Okay, number 9. 1.46% as a decimal. Don't get thrown up at this. Yes, it is a decimal. That's a percent. Percent to a decimal. Percent to a decimal. All right, what did you get? Yeah, 0.146. There we go. All right, let's do the next one, number 10. What would I thought I wrote the original problem. What would 4.57 be as a percent? Just tell me. 457%. So now I just go the other way. Okay. All right. How are we doing so far? Okay. Any questions before I go, clear the screen? All right. So let's do number 11 now. Number 11 says write the fraction as a decimal and a percent. Well, one tip that I have here is I can look at this denominator, and based on my denominator, what do I know about my decimal value? It's going to be repeating. Okay, so as soon as I can find that pattern, I'm just going to stick with that pattern, write the decimal, convert it to a percentage. Okay. All right, 0.81, repeating. Did y'all got 81.8%?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do number 16. We're jumping down to number 16.
What?
But you round to the third decimal place. We always go out 4 and round to the third. Guys, if you do 81.81%, that's not a big deal. Okay? But we talked about rounding to the third decimal place. That's what I did. All right, number 16. Okay, number 16, we need to simplify this expression. So we're into chapter 3. Okay, number 16, I skipped a bunch, I know. Like I said, we're going to go back and check the other ones tomorrow. You have to kind of fill in the ones we're not doing for your homework. Okay, number 16, I need to simplify this expression. Does that mean I need to solve it? I need to combine everything to one answer? No. All I can do is combine my like terms as much as I can. All right? But what makes this one look a little tricky is the what?
Fraction.
The fractions. But fractions aren't so bad, right?
No.
I'm just adding and subtracting. So what do I need? I need that LCD.
D.
Okay? I need an LCD between 3/7 and 5/14. Find your LCD, combine your like terms. All right, so 3/7 turns into 6/14. Did y'all get that? And then, really, if I had been thinking, I would have gone ahead. Now, you don't have to do this step, okay? Again, it's multiple choice, so as long as you do the math, you'll be okay. But just remember, you can group your like terms together, right? 6 minus 5 is what? 1 14th x plus 3 or minus 3? Minus. 12 is bigger. 12 is bigger and it's negative. So 9 minus 12, it's definitely going to be that negative 3. Okay? All right, let's look at number 18. I'm still on the simplifying. All right, let's look at number 18. See if you can get going on it. Anyone raise their hand and tell me what is the first thing you have to do to get the right answer, Alexa? Yes, that's exactly right. How many people did that? Okay, you got to change those signs. When I see a subtraction sign in front of that set, that second expression set, I know I have to reverse my signs, and now I can combine like terms. This does not mean I have only one answer. Okay, now I can go 6 plus 3, negative 5x. Okay, that negative in front of the 5x has to be brought down. Did you do that? Yes. Okay. Plus 7.8x. Now I simplify. What's 6 plus 3? 9. What's negative 5x plus 7.8?
2.8.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay, because 7.8 is bigger. How did you guys do on that?
Great.
Did okay? All right. So any questions? If you maybe missed a little part, do you see where you missed? All right. So that's 18. Let's do number 20. Factor with GCF. Here's what we learned. Hopefully you remember. We start with the largest number, the largest factor. 1 times 21. Does 21 go into 56? No. So I work my way up. 3 times 7. 7 is my next factor. Does 7 go into 56? Yes. So I pull it out. Now, how do I know what numbers are left inside the parentheses? Just tell me. Okay, divide. Divide. So, but yes, Hadley, what you just said too. But how do I know actually what number is left? I divide the original by what I factored. All right, so 56a divided by 7 is what? 8a. What's 21 divided by 7? 3. This is your answer, not 8a plus 3. Okay, so on the review sections on the test, all right, now you might have thought, oh, well, you know, she's preparing me for midterms, which I was, but I'm also looking for those common mistakes because I'm going to put those as options on your midterm, okay? So I saw a lot of this, 8a plus 3 on your review sections, and you were forgetting the 7 with the parentheses because remember, you need to be able to put this back together, go backwards, okay? So this is not the right answer if that's a choice. It's not the right answer. Yes, that's what you kind of factored and left over, but that's not the full answer. All right, number 22. Okay, number 22. Is that a distance problem? 22? Okay. All right, you need to know, just remember your rules about same side of 0 versus opposite sides of 0. Find the distance. Remember, distance is never negative. Even if you run backwards, you didn't run a negative distance. Okay? All right, so calculate your distance. Calculate your distance on 22. All right, anybody have that answer? What would it be? Anybody new? Kalani, what'd you get for number 22? We're working these problems. Joel, did you get it?
Yeah,
22?
22.
Yep.
4.2 units.
Okay, he said 4.2 units. Now, they were negative, but remember, distance isn't negative. Who got 4.2? Raise your hand if you got 4.2. All right, so make sure you guys are following along. It's looking good from what I can see. All right, number 23. Number 23, we're looking at, oh yeah, number 23, the area one, right? Okay, guys, everyone together. What's the formula for area? So if I put that, you're welcome, as a question on your midterm, you're going to get it, right? Okay, you're not going to choose the perimeter formula, are you? All right, it's area. So now it tells me, I'm going to kind of flip this around a little bit. That's okay. I'm just going to put the total or the area at the end. It tells me that the area is 80x plus 4,000. And I know that the length times the width will give me that final expression. What does it tell me? Which information, length or width, does it give me? No problem. It gives me the width, which is what value? 80. 80. So again, I need to multiply 80 by something, the length, to get me to my final amount. So I got to figure out what's missing. This is that factoring. All right? Remember how on the factoring you divided the original, or you could say the final amount, by what was pulled out? That's almost exactly what we're doing here. What would you have to multiply 80 by to make it 80x?
X.
1x, or just x. All right? Try to fill in the second term. Obviously it's plus. Everything's positive with measurement. Anybody have it? Close? Yeah, Matthew? Plus 50. Good job. Okay? So, answer this question. What is the length?
1x x plus 50.
X plus 50. The length is not 80 times x plus 50. That's the length and the width. So if I ask you on your midterm, what is the length? you're going to say 1x plus 50 or just x plus 50. Okay? Either one is the same thing. The one is understood. But you're going to say this, right? Not the 80 times, okay? Because 80 was the width. If I say what's the length, it's x plus 50. Okay, we're going to pick up here tomorrow. We're out of time. 1 through 25 is due tomorrow. The rest of the review sheet will be due on Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to just keep working our way through this review sheet. I have printed another review sheet just as more practice. It's not a counted assignment. It's not graded necessarily, but I will make sure you have the right answers. Just more practice. Okay? More practice to get you guys ready. All right, that's it.